Well, hello everybody. Happy Equinox. Here we are already in the midst of September. Whew, time as we have known it is really almost non-existent anymore. And whether you be in the northern or southern hemisphere, I wish you happy integration of all these energies that are coming in. I know that right now, what I consider these next 3 days, 21st, 22nd, 23rd, is going to be a sort of encapsulated set of opening a doorway to higher level energies coming in. We've got more crystalline light and codes accessible to us. And if you recall what I talked about last summer, around, well, it was summer for us in June, the June solstice, whether you're winter or summer in that, showed me a period, and I talked about this, that we're moving into the merge zone, that between June 21st and September 21st is like being in an encapsulated space where 3D and 5D are crossed over each other, where they are sitting within this crossing zone, this woven over and through each other zone that would be a lot more intense, a lot more 5D energies available, a lot more awareness of what the quantum field is like, how you were shifting to move into it, and yet a foot always in 3D, a foot over here always feeling like drawn back down, stuck in, or like, wow, I just want to move away from all this. But then those moments of really feeling like, whew, I am really not embroiled in this. This is beautiful. This is an opportunity. And so what we're seeing now, as we saw last December solstice, the pathways were present. We saw the bifurcation of the pathways, both opening up, your soul already knowing which way, which direction it's taking. Are you going to stay in Earth as it is in 3D and have another 26,000 year cycle for soul learning, for soul expansion, for whatever reason that you would choose that? It's a soul level decision. And then those that are moving towards the higher expansion levels in the fifth dimension and beyond, that opened up. So between December and June, we really start those bifurcations, like the awareness of, wow, there's really two paths here. There's really a distinction. And then being in that place where, as the beginning of the weaving apart of the two paths started, here we are, we were in June at a place where, oh my goodness, I can start to see the weaving apart. We're in this encapsulated space where they're both very, very present. And now that is coming to a completion point at the September 21st equinox, that we're going to start seeing the weaving really take place, that the disengaging from each other is really going to start to be more and more prevalent. It may bring more chaos. It may bring a lot more peace to your life of those that are aligned with the truth, aligned with that higher vibrational light. And so recognizing and knowing, all right, when there's chaos or embroilment into those lower density energies that I allow myself to fall into or I feel around me, what can I do to breathe through and release my attachment to that? Because I allow the attachments, I allow myself to stay embroiled or engaged in different aspects of it, maybe out of my fears to move forward, maybe out of my fears to release family, friends, energies, whatever, may not be able to move forward with me. Maybe I stay engaged just out of habit. So it is now what I consider like crunch time. I've talked about this for a few weeks, of really choosing and setting your intention of what is my path going forward. Because we are at a real dividing point of, your soul knows what it's doing, but if you're not listening to your soul, if you're not really paying attention to the signs, the urges, the inner pushing, so to speak. And I'll describe that for you, because when I had my awakening, it was back in 2002. And for about 6 months or more, I had what felt like an energetic hand in my back, pushing me forward on my journey, pushing me forward into quitting my day job, quitting my 40 to 60 hour a week commitment to a workplace that was not feeding my soul. It was not engaging all of my interests. It was not feeding me on any level. It was just something to do, and it was something that I did for other reasons that was a soul lesson and learning. But it was the first time in my life I really felt this intuitive something, pushing. You got to quit, you got to quit. And I was in fear. I held on for a while because I didn't know what would be next. What's going to sustain me? I have a mortgage, I have animals, I have all these things, right? And when I took that leap of faith, I wasn't on the street. Everything kept unfolding before me. And that was the beginning of my path of trust in myself. That was the beginning of, wow, there's an inner voice guiding me. I have this inner system. Later learned it was a connection to the angelic realms and the dragon realms and my higher self, really pushing me into awakening to my full spiritual path, awakening to the place where I could connect in, have my clairs open, have the dragons be able to connect with me and bring that through, because that's my life's work and purpose. So as I unfolded into that, it really blossomed my life. It didn't mean I didn't have a process to go through of disengaging or even setting aside out of certain fears, but as my process continued, getting to that place where I could actually live and be it. And so this is where we're now at a place where that was 20 years ago. And now we're at a place where the energies are so much more supportive, so much stronger, pushing you forward into your heart alignment. But are you listening? Are you paying attention to the little signals, the little signs, the little impetus, that push inside of you that says it's time for a change, it's time to do something different? As subtler as that big may be in your life, it doesn't have to be massive, but it could be. But are you willing to take that leap of faith? Are you willing to jump forward? So I feel like this equinox energy, as we align more and more, it's bringing in, and I'm hearing the word plasma code again. I've heard that word plasma recently, and it really fit of how the actual elemental level body shift to take our physical body forward into the light body and maintain the physical form on some level. I've had pieces of it come in that I've shared, some on the lives, but mostly in my classrooms, of how that process is happening biologically, how we're moving through that with all the aspects that are very tangible and physical in 3D right now. And if you imagine it as plasma liquid light, which is crystalline in nature, and that your own crystalline activation is starting to take place with your DNA waking up, that structure inside each cell is going to be what gets replaced, what gets shifted, and allows that transformation of incorporating and actually allowing more light to shine through each cell, which moves you into that plasma light body. So what's the time frame on that? As I've said before, I don't know. But this doorway is a massive opening to that, and you're going to start feeling radical shifts that, if you're not ready, if you're struggling or resisting it, are going to be hard for you. They're going to challenge you. You're going to have a team of even more dragon support around you, holding space to let you let go of that fears. Any of those fears. To breathe into it and know, all right, I got a support team. Even if I feel like I'm walking alone. I tell you what, I felt like a salmon swimming upstream most of my journey. Doesn't mean you're alone. It means you just can't see all the other fish in the water yet until you get upstream where the stream narrows and narrows and narrows, and then you realize, oh my gosh, I'm surrounded. There's thousands around me. I guarantee you at the base of the river, that salmon doesn't know that there's another fish maybe 20 inches away. Maybe it can't see that far. I don't know, but it feels like, wow, I'm really solitary here. Or man, there's not very many of us. But they get upstream and they get narrowed in, narrowed in, narrowed in. What is this narrowing in for us? This is the timelines converging. Timelines are converging because as we move out of 3D, time does not exist in the way it did before. And I shared some of this in today's newsletter. You guys know I don't send a lot of newsletters out. Maybe once every 6 weeks. I realized today I hadn't sent one out since April. I was inspired last night. I wait for the inspiration. I don't want to over inundate the email boxes because I know how frustrated I get with that. But knowing what these energies are, knowing that the book club just got calendared, wanted to get that out there, and the applications are open for the Eye of the Dragon program for 2022. And the greeting cards are at the press, so they're going to be released soon. This is all in the newsletter, so if you're not getting it, go to dragonwithin.com. On the bottom, you can sign up for the newsletter. And if you didn't know it, there's a free downloadable meditation calling in your dragon. Many, many people, I get emails, notices every day, multiple people. But it's interesting because you have to, my site is actually operated in integrity and along with international law because I'm such an international field for my clientele. That internationally, the website law, you can't actually automatically opt someone in if they sign up for something, if they get a free product. You're not actually legally able to put them on your emailing list. They have to opt in, not opt out. And there's many, many sites around that are not doing that, which is why I get frustrated because I get opted in without my consent on a lot of things. But if you are opting, if you want the newsletter, when you get the free meditation, check the little box, because that newsletter, I don't send them all out unless there's something happening that you need to be aware of. So some of this is explained in that newsletter. But when you're moving forward in these energies and feeling that, this is the beginning of, if you've been resistant to it, if you have not been really diving in and listening to your inner gut, you're going to start feeling a stronger and stronger push forward, where you almost get in a tide, or a I'm seeing the salmon, where like all of a sudden they just are converging all together and you can't get out of the school. It's like there's no exit. You're on traffic on a highway. How many times has this happened to you? And you're in the fast lane or the second lane over, and the exit's 2 lanes over, and all of a sudden you're daydreaming and you realize, oh my God, there's my exit, and you're not going to get over, and you missed your exit. Then you got to whip, and then it takes so much longer, and it's all this extra effort. If you just go with what you know, allow yourself to ride into your impetus, ride into what is coming up for you now, and listen and drop the resistance. If you have fear coming up, you're going to be pushed through it. The dragons are there to help breathe through it, burn it up, let all the residue be seen and cleared. So take advantage right now, because we're moving into some very exciting times. I'm shocked actually that we are through 3/4 of 2021 already, when I knew that starting in 2020, all these big things were coming forward. And we're like so far along through it. Another year, like the world is going to look very different. Super exciting. So I want to continue on. We had some great questions answered last week, and I'm going to continue on those, because they're tied into these energies, and they're really relevant to everybody's journey right now. And they're great, great questions. So one of them that I want to focus first on is, you've mentioned about showing others in the love, and showing others the love and light. The dragons are social. Here, let me read it again. You've mentioned about showing others the love and light. The dragons are social. I'm not feeling that from within me or my dragon. It feels more like we're warriors, protectors. We protect, but not a part of the love thy neighbor concept. I've had scenes flash and or play out to this effect. Am I on the wrong path or the wrong group? So I love this, because there's a misconception about love and the love thy neighbor that comes from a lot of religious doctrines, of what it is to love and hold that love and light, to hold that frequency and just embrace. So it does lead down the road, when you've worked through a lot of your own injuries and why it's hard to embrace your neighbor, why it's hard to be engaged in that social gathering. And as dragons, our actual nature is clan. You've heard the term dragon clan. It resonates deeply within you when you say it. If you have a dragon tattoo, I guarantee you've been in a dragon clan, because I realized when I was struck at 40 years old to go and get a tattoo of dragons, that why was I doing this? And I realized later it was about marking myself so that I would be recognized to my clan, that my dragon clan would be looking for me, and there was a mark. There was something that we identified each other by. But we are a clan in nature, and if we go back to our origins in the dragon realms or the other realms that we hail from, we are social, we are interactive, we are about the masses or numbers that come together. It doesn't mean we don't have that solitude capacity, because we are that paradox of the universe. We are aligned to it so that both are simultaneously true. And you can't fathom this until you actually get to a place in your journey where you recognize that both are absolutely possible in the same moment. So knowing that I had that same piece, I had that dragon nature of I want to just be in my cave. And there are parts on your journey where you need to do that, where you need to seclude and go in and go, no, I can't listen to anything else. I need to shut it all out. I need to just work through this on my own. And that is part of our nature as well, of knowing, okay, I have this immense support around me, and yet I'm going to take the time to go in and work through this to release it. And yet when I do that, it begs and my heart wants to go and engage in that big social circle. If you're not feeling that, it just means you haven't woken up to those higher aspects of self yet, where that becomes a reality. So are you on the right path? Are you in the right group? Absolutely, because working with the dragons in the way that I describe in the book, or that you listen to through these lives, or in the meditations that are on the site, that is the ability to call them in or feel them around you, to know when and how to engage, to know what support is being given, and to let them help burn it through you, to start recognizing and opening those. And I guarantee they work very, very efficiently and very, very rapidly. But in that whole question, I don't feel that within me. I don't feel it within my dragon. This just is an indicator of, all right, I've been in a space where I'm always a loner. I'm always that salmon swimming up by myself. I'm still in the lower part of the river. I'm not up where I'm gathered in yet. I'm not feeling the brotherhood with my fish or my dragons. It's just a space in the journey where you're at. So keep moving forward. Keep allowing. Know that actually the truest nature at our core is to be in that realm where we engage socially, where we are about clan. And in taking care of that clan is why, as solo beings, we came here to be isolated, to be forgetful, to have the veil between us and our family, our dragon clan, to be isolated from ourself, from Mother, Father, God, and those energies, and be in that space, much like a human soul born here, that is absolutely cut off and separated, because we have to have the empathy and understanding of that isolation. And this realm, the whole realm of duality and polarity, creates isolation. It creates one side or the other. But when you actually merge them back together, where you have the paradox that is true, because they are the white and the black, both sides of the same coin, but they're not out here. They're here, and they meet in the middle, and they merge, and then you feel the truth of how both dance within you together simultaneously. So just know it's a part of the journey. You're on the right path. Keep moving forward. And in that, so part of these questions, they all relate to each other. I feel like I'm a specific dragon lineage. Does that make those attributes, for example, if you're fire, or like I'm a water dragon, stronger, and you call in others as needed? And is there a full chart of the dragon lineage? So that one's an easy answer. In the book, there is a full chart of the dragon lineage of up to the fifth dimensional plane of all filled in, and then all the way through the Andromedan 12th dimensional level that I'm now filling in, that I use in my programs. But that lineage is about the love, wisdom, and power lineages. So the fire lineage is part of that power lineage and that line moving up. So in that lineage, a lot of people don't understand how to use that chart in the book. The book I'm referring to is The Dragon Within. So dragonwithin.com. You can learn all about it. You can get it whatever form, ebook, hardcover, paperback. It's all available, 3 languages, working on Dutch. So in that lineage chart, yes, it shows there are lineage and they're not as you would think, as in maybe I'm Orion lineage. Well, if you're Orion lineage, what part of that? Are you in the gold, the silver, or the copper? Because that's going to be a more drawn out of, am I working on love? Am I working on wisdom? Or am I working on power? And part of the incarnation process, or what you hold as a main framework, because it is possible to incarnate into another lineage, into another form, in a physical dragon form, to experience and learn those things. But your core, let's say dragon realm origination form, like for me, water dragon here in this realm, I'm higher up that same lineage in my higher format. So that love line is part of my main framework. Yours might be a power lineage. Yours might be the wisdom lineage, which is why there are beings that hold the Akashic records or access to them. That's not my forte. I do soul readings because I interpret. I'm a communicator. The water lineage is about connectivity, conductivity, being able to communicate and interface. Wisdom lineage, that's the Akashic readings. That's that whole lineage up through copper. That's why there's halls of wisdom and access to soul records. Everybody has a different set of gifts. This is why it's so beautiful when we come together and share them, and why I value my Dragonheart ongoing group so much, because there's information still coming. They've finished the program in the last 3 years, and it keeps going. We keep growing. We keep bringing more in and activating more around the planet, which is why I love the Dragonheart program. Not only does it merge you with yourself, but it merges you into that dragon family, into that clan aspect of group gathering, group assist. Here we are. So yeah, there's a dragon clan, but your lineage in that answer of that question is, yeah, you're going to have those attributes of that lineage. And exactly, you're going to call in the others as needed. So I've needed to work with the fire dragons. I've needed to work in that power lineage to access and remember why I was resistant to my power, why I was resistant to stepping in. And that brings up another piece in her question. One of them was, how do you know there are other dragons around you? Do you just ask or wait for them to show themselves? And in that, Oh, here was the other one that got emailed in from another gal. How do I get rid of my fears and move forward with ease and empowerment? I'm stuck to start my mission and use my gifts. So how do we move through that? Moving into our empowerment with ease and grace can take a while. It takes some deep work. It takes some deep shadow work. And sometimes we have to do those hard layers with the black dragon. We have to move through our shadow in order to actually even see. It took me years, I'll be honest, to see and know why I was resistant to my power. No longer. Now I know who I am. Now I know what I'm here for. But I had to see that block. At my core, I was so afraid of being shackled in because I was magnificent in my power. And because I was a target. The more we hold our light, the more we become targets. But I was a dragon, chained and shackled. Because I was one of the commanders. I was higher up. I had a lot of both intrinsic power within me and power to lead and to guide. And in that, I was very, very resistant. But I had to uncover that. I needed the help of the dragons and even another psychic to help me see, another empath to help me go into that, which is why I do that in my sessions. That's the gift of what I do in one-on-one sessions, is to really fine-tune and hone in on what is your core injury. What are you working on right now that is your biggest block in this moment to you moving forward on your ascension path? So all of those are tied together. Yes, when we need them, we allow the other dragons to be called in. And do you just ask for them or wait for them to show up? It's really up to you. They will show up and they will be beating on your door if you're not paying attention. I promise that. But if you're ready, if you're moving forward and you know, like, okay, I got some help around me, I can feel it, but I really want to move through this. I know this is blocking me. I know it's here, and you'll get signs from everything around you. If your plumbing is breaking all over your house, in not just one area, I remember when I bought this house, I needed to redo all the pipes under the house. I have a broken, cracked toilet in the other room. When there are things in the pipes, in the water system, what is that? That's your emotional body. Clogged up, leaking like crazy because it's got too much pressure in it and it's not flowing right. That's your input. That's your like physical realm giving you insight or impetus into, oh, this is who I need to be working with. Hello, my emotional body. I got plumbing stuff going on. I got broken sprinklers. Maybe I got mold in my house. That's another form of water, right? Maybe I got fire issues going on. Maybe there's something burning up. Maybe I've got maybe wind damage. The wind blew a tree into my house or knocked something over or broke some stuff on my house. Pay attention to the wisdom lineage. You can call them in. You can be proactive. That's why the book is there, to know how to call them in. What are their mantras? How do you work with them? Use the CD tracks in the background to help get you into that state where you can feel more directly and be called into that. That's one of the gifts that I have as your dragon guide, is to actually embed those frequencies. And I know there's some coming through. The last several lives have had direct transmission downloads because we're moving into that space where, as those that are the guides and are at the front of the bell curve moving forward into the ascension process, they're holding a specific frequency band to start broadcasting that more and more directly. And you're feeling it coming through, and you feel that massive heart hit, or you feel that big opening through the center of your head space going, wow, something's trying to crack open here. Something's trying to really push it open. Allow it, listen to it, and receive it with an open heart, knowing, all right, I'm at a place where I can receive. This is what I do in my sessions. We do that interchange of energy. A lot of times, what I've been told, and the human mind can't grasp this, but I love when the information came through in an actual session. It said, if you were ready for it, you would get more out of just sitting in silence and receiving what is coming through the telepathic body for that full 75 minutes than to have any interaction with the mind and have all the words have to be translated through, because they drop into a denser level of what can be received. They're dropping it because the focus is over here. The body is still getting it. But the power of the energy framework, and that's why everything that I send out from the layer, be it an oracle deck, a plushie, a pendant, one of the symbol pendants, a canvas, I code it and allow a transmission to be embedded that is aligned to your frequency band to open your crystalline bodies. because I don't have time during this process. We've got an open window right now. We have a gateway, and my classes can't always be massive and huge, and they're year long, and not everybody can do them. But those objects around you, I can embed a transmission in it that is meant to be coded for you to begin opening. And that's why I love the book club so much. It's a 6-week bam, bam, wow. What is the old saying? Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. That's sort of a crude saying, but it's that, wow, we do a lot in 6 weeks, because it's 6 weeks of transmissions, 2-hour discussion with that transmission, and then a meditation that cracks things open very rapidly. And I normally only take 10 people. If there's more, I'll feel into it and see, all right, we're supposed to be more, but I'm just releasing it this week. I emailed yesterday all those on the short list to give them first crack at spaces, and then I'm going to put it into the group this week. I think the event actually self-posted directly into the group, so you might have seen it yesterday. If you're really into that and want to do it, it's 2 of the best hours you'll get every week that you'll look forward to every week. You'll meet some other dragon family, and if you can't make the whole hour, maybe it's on your lunch hour, maybe you're still in traffic, but you can make part of it or re-listen to the replays. You're going to get it all anyway, because you're in that group sphere. That's the power of the group sphere access. So hopefully I answered those questions. I feel excited about the energies. I feel excited about these. These were great questions because they're taking us into our empowerment. Every one of these questions is about you finding another step forward in your journey to really comprehend the gift that the dragons are bringing, comprehend your own gift as dragon, and to really just allow you to blossom into that. And I'm getting this big feeling of just this opening, like little flowers just going like this to the sun that is that light out in front of you, coming from the dragons, to just say, open up, let us send all this light. Can you let yourself blossom into it, relax into it, surrender into it? Surrender and trust have been the big themes for the last 3 years. And it's higher and higher and higher and higher levels of that. Deeper and deeper and deeper levels of that. Your journey is going to unfold magically and beautifully when you allow it. But don't let the mind get in the way. The mind often has these questions and they stop us. Your heart knows the way. Keep moving forward. If you need anything from me, one of these lovely little guys, we've got the black and gold Merlin. We've got gold dragon behind me, he's sort of hiding. The ruby dragon. All those energies are prevalent. I pulled this whole, we've had a lot of fire energy last week. And we're pulling all of this. There's a black sun portal that I saw today. That's part of what this new energy is coming in. That's an opening into the divine feminine access point, the black portal, the black sun portal, to really, really opening, like almost like seeing an eclipse or a merge of the black sun and the sun, where it was just the glow around it. Allow that to be your reality over these 3 days. Allow that to be what you open to receive and move into, because it's here for you. So I know I've waxed on longer than I normally do. I'll let you go for this week. But if you need me, discovery calls are available through the site. Click the book now button on the homepage. The calendar goes 3 weeks out, so just keep looking every few days if you don't see something. And let me know. Email, instant message me. What are your questions? What are your needs? What are you curious about? What's confusing you? Let's get you on the right track and get you moving forward, because the time is now. All right. Whew. Love my dragon family. I love coming and sharing with you guys every week. Feel free to share it out. Like it or love it or comment, so that we can see reactions, that we can get an engagement going on beyond just me talking to those on the live. Hello to each of you. Thanks for being here, and those on the replay. All right. See you next Tuesday, everybody. Happy, happy equinox, wherever you are in the world. Bye for now.